What is up? And today I will bring you a enhancement shaman guide for mostly dungeons and some of single target and raiding. So first off, I want to say that I do believe that there are a lot of different variations to this tree, and there's a lot you can do. The main things you want to take is you want to take this path all the way down. I like it for movement speed. Do you need 2 stacks into this? No, but I like feeling fast. Same thing for why I get that. Will you need Frost Shock in dungeons? Probably not. Um, I like this for Leech. Do you need Wind Fury Totem? Do you need this for dungeons? No, not necessarily. Um, but if you find yourself dying for higher key pushes, yeah, I would say you probably have to take that just for the little bit extra healing. And then it comes down to all these totems. Do you need an extra knockup? I don't think you need an extra knockup, but in case you need it, you come down here, and if not, it saves you like 2 points. Um, I really like this for the extra effects on the totems, and this is what I really like, and there's a lot of opportunities to build. Where you can take the points off is depending on what you need. If you don't care about movement speed, you don't have to go into this. And you take points off here to put points here. Like, it's something like that, or if you don't know, you don't need your knockup, then you can come over here. Also, you don't really need Earth Shield, and this one, the reason why I'm taking it to begin is because I'm going to try to be pushing high keys early, and I would like to put an Earth Shield on myself. I think it's better than probably a Lightning Shield, and at the same time, um, I can have 2 shields on me. Not sure if I can have that and put this on someone else as well, but then I can also put this on the tank or the healer or just someone else. And, it's a little bit extra defensive, and I think it's a passive defensive. It'll be nice. Do you have to activate it all the time? Nah, you don't have to worry about it too much, but I think it's better than just having a lightning shield. That's why I go this. Um, and yeah, so like everything else is depending on the dungeons and situational. Do I have a solidified idea of what will be best for the dungeons? No. For example, I know the second boss on Bracken. Is it Bracken? No, it's no good. No good offensive. You want to take Cleanse Spirit and Purge, because you want to purge the boss. Because apparently that damage is going to kill tanks, so just in case, take Purge if you need it. If you don't need Purge, then you can go this build. But if you need Purge, go into this. If you need a Tremor Totem, because I know there's things that put you to sleep, you just put 1 point into, like, for example, like, let's say you just take 1 point there. It's easy, You need a Tremor Totem. You need uh, reducing 10% physical. Then you go here. You don't need the knockup. Then you can, like, go this way. There are a couple of talents you can see in the tree that aren't useful. Like, I think you still need to. I like going down all the way just because I like the movement speed. You get it every 45 seconds to 60% movement speed for 8 seconds. That's why I really like it. Um, I like being fast more than offensive. Is it the best option? Definitely not. But it is definitely something I use. Um, a couple of other useful spells. Poison, like, for example, I don't know what dungeons really have poison besides Bracken, but you could use this for Bracken Hide. It just is niche. It depends on the dungeons. You'll be changing a lot for your totems depending, and if you don't really care, then you don't really have to. Another thing that I am using the idea of going around is going into healing stream totem all the way down into ancestral guidance. This goes for raiding as well. I think this trinket as well is really nice. I just realized that increases your healing by Earth Shield, which is also nice. Like, if you want more passive healing for Earth Shield. Anyway, this is gonna be really good. Like, let's say there are portions of dungeons where there is just a crazy amount of AoE going out, and if you want to help the group out, building into ancestral guidance, I think is a better idea. Like I said, I don't think you need all these knockups and maybe an extra thing. So you just come into here and go that. Maybe you take the bite the bullet. You don't need elemental orbit, the extra shield, and go over here into that. There's also a chance where you don't need Wind Rush and you think you can survive without this, then that's 3 points you can use somewhere else as well. You don't need that movement speed. or like all like what is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't need 5 points of movement speed. Then you can put it somewhere else. You don't need that. You don't need fraud. Like there's a lot you can change depending on the dungeon. But this is generally what I want. Feel just got to get a feel of it. Now let's go into the actual talents. I'm not going to be explaining too much of of how everything. I'm just going to explain how stuff works together. Currently, without tier set, I think this is the best build for dungeons. Will it be best when you get tier set? Maybe, maybe not. I'll go into that. Get some Wind Fury. Go all the way down to do the Lava Lash build where you just want to spread the Flame Shock and you want to spread the debuff to make your Flame Shock do more damage. If you were curious about anything in this and want to know more about why you would do this, this is kind of like how Shamans used to be played last patch. In all of like Shadowlands, and if you're curious to know anything about it, feel free to ask in the comments. I will help you. I'm just trying to keep this as short as possible. Fire Nova is a classic. It does crazy amount of damage. Just you basically use that on cooldown. But you want to make sure a lot of targets have Flame Shock on it before you use it. I don't think Ice Strike is worth it. I don't think Feral Lunge is worth it. I don't think either of these are worth it. Wind Totem in dungeons is definitely not worth it. These two maybe, but for this build, for doing the Lava Lash side, I don't think you would go this. You would go that for Lava Lash. This is single target. You don't need that for dungeons. The only thing I would question for dungeons with this build is these two things, and that would be Converging Storms might be better maybe than Lashing Flames. There's a chance. But like, cause maybe you're tired of spreading that shit around. Maybe you just put a point there instead. That could be more beneficial. That's the only thing maybe I'd switch. You want at least 1 point in this. That way your Storm Strike does have a chance to give you Maelstrom. This is good, but you're going an elemental build, so you wouldn't want to really put a point into that. Elemental Spirits just buff your damage. I did think that this was going to be really good for dungeons, but the reason why I don't think it's as good as it was is because I think you probably net more value of doing elemental damage than you get from your wolves actually doing damage. Chances are that these two might be interchangeable at like higher scaling item level, but like I said, once I'm done with doing all my dungeons, doing the high keys, I formulated what does the best damage. I will put another guide out if people are interested in how I did it, doing the 20s, doing progression, stuff like that. Another thing I like is just doing this just for the RNG to randomly enter Ascendance. Mostly for Ascendance does 22k damage around you. So it just randomly will do damage and then, give you some stuff, extra damage. So that's why I like that. Yeah, this is Lava Lash build, so I'll just show it real quick before I continue. I have this random trinket. It's god awful, so who knows what it's going to give me. So just ignore it. So I'll go over the build and make sure you have your stuff equipped. All you're going to do is you're going to put Flame Shock on one target, tab target. Then you're going to do Primordial Wave. Then you're going to Lava Lash. And then you're going to Lightning Bolt. And then you're going to do Fire Nova, Sundering, a Crash Lightning, and probably have enough Maelstrom to do Chain Lightning, then that, and then it's just rinse and repeat. This is just more about talent choices than how to play the class itself. If you want to slow it down and see what I press, but like watch, I can easily just rip out like 100k flat. I am 363, nothing crazy. So just activate that thing, that switch, that spread, wolves. Activate that, boom, boom, and then switch. You just want to keep tab targeting, and then look at that, just like 140k AoE. $120. Just keep spreading. Make sure the Flame Shock is spreading. Wolves are ready. Then you summon your wolves again. Especially with more gear and more haste, this build will do more damage. But yeah, definitely, you know, just flirting with like that high amount of burst is insane. Lightning Bolt, it's a single target ability, but Flame Shot or Primordial Wave will cause any targets hit with Flame Shock to hit them. So that's why I think it is the best route to go in dungeons. Because if all your targets have Flame Shock attached to them and you rip one Lightning Bolt, you're doing some crazy AoE damage, and you get a bunch of haste out of it too. And so basically, the thing before you use it, you're using overflowing, meaning you'll get a 10 stack, which is its full damage, even higher than what it used to be. Make sure you use your Maelstrom before, or else you'll just waste it and you'll be like overcapped and you can't use it. So that's my opinion on that. Now, with tier set, there's a chance that Doomwinds is actually better than even touching anything in the Lava Lash side. And I will say that there's a chance that I do probably like that build better. The reason why is trying to focus in on Lava Lash being lashing flames being on every target is a little bit tedious. But like having, I don't know why that just popped up. Did it stop? No. Strange. But I definitely think for now this will be good until you get to your set. Chance that like you say screw this side of the tree and just go into Doomwinds instead. Same logic. 1, 2, 3, and then there's like 1, 2, 3, right? You just take those out and put that there. Maybe without doing that, since you're going Doomwinds and you're probably going to that to get there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. This 1, 2, 3. Put 1 point there. Then you need a point somewhere else. I'm not sure to get to that. Roughly, essentially, that's just what it is. I know there's another build out there for the Doomwinds. I don't really have it. I don't really know if Doomwinds actually ends up being better, and I end up playing it a lot, and people are questioning or curious, and I'm doing a lot of damage, or if there's not, if I see that no one else is putting out stuff, then I'll put out a guide that actually tells you how to play it, actually how to do the rotation. I just want to give people general knowledge. Now for single target, until you get your tier set, it's the same thing, Lava Lash build. Same thing for raid. I think that would be good for raid, for healing, for like high mythic. Also, Capacitor Totem having a repeat is also really OP. Just quick throw that out there. For raiding, I think that this is the best. Currently, Hailstorm instead of Fire Nova because it has an AoE. This is just your pure single target. Ripping a Elemental Blast. Chance you actually take this to rip a strong Elemental Blast, but right now at low item level, I don't think that's worth. But when you get to higher item level, I think getting Overflowing will probably end up being more beneficial. If your raid does not need Wind Fury Totem, I think maybe not even using Wind Fury Totem and putting it point like there would be better. But most raids probably have a lot of melee, so you want to buff them. Net game, the entire raid, you know, just not what you benefit. This is if you're doing more physical, but this is basically for the Doomwinds build and Wind Fury. But if you're not going that, then this is kind of pointless because Wind Fury is physical, everything else is elemental. This so you 100% will generate Maelstrom every time you Storm Strike, which I like. I flirted with these two. You can go with RNG Ascendance or on demand 3 minutes. I have bad luck for now, so in the beginning I'm going to do on demand Ascendance. Eventually, there is another build. Once you get your 4 set, and it's called Gamba, and I was so confused on why it was called Gamba. And this might actually be the best build, but it relies heavily on RNG. It doesn't go Lava Lash, it's Storm Strike. And the build follows this pattern. You obviously don't take Elemental Spirits because this gives you elemental damage, so you don't really need it. It'll just give you physical damage buff, which is why you take this. Which begs the question of why would you even... You go Ice Strike. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you have 10. So you physically can't go anything. You physically can't put 2 into there, which sucks. And the reason why I say that is because it increases your physical damage by from 5 to 25%. So it's pretty big. Maybe you don't take a point out of that, put it there. Maybe you take a point out of that, put it there. Take a point out of that, put it there. I'm not sure. But the reason why I say I don't think you would, because if you're going this build for the RNG Gamba, if you Ascendance and get crazy procs on the reset of Storm Strike, you're going to nonstop be pressing a Storm Strike and ripping the boss apart because it's going to be keep repeating its damage, and then Lightning Bolt is going to be kept flinging at him every time you get 5 stacks. That's why I think this build could be really OP. It's simming really high right now. Will this eventually be the best build? Not 100%, but it would be fun to play. RNG. You know, you get those Ascendance procs, you're going to be doing some crazy single target damage. Do you need to fully go into it? No. I still think going fully into it kind of a waste. Like, I'd rather just press Lightning Bolt myself. But if you're generating Maelstrom to a point where, like, you can't deal with it, then you need to go this. So that's the point of that build. Yeah, those are the two. There's also a non-Ascendance, probably single target build, where if you want more generated build, you probably go this and... Oopsie daisies. Take a point there, go there. I think if you take... Right, does that work? Yeah. Take a point there, go there, and then... Oh, wait, that's not... That's what I wanted to do. That way you have this, an extra thing, so whenever you rip a Maelstrom... So basically, how this build would work in single target, obviously win Fairy Fairy Raid, you get your full stacks of Maelstrom, 10, rip an Elemental Blast, then immediately after rip a Primordial Wave, then immediately after rip a Lightning Bolt. Big damage for this trinket here. What is Bis Trinkets? I don't know either. Guys, like I said, more about talents and ideas. Yeah, then wolves. Make sure you just wolf before you do that. Just that way it buffs your elemental damage. But yeah, that's it. That's the guide and all the random stuff. I do think that's the best AoE dungeon build for now. I know there's the Gamba where you RNG Ascendance more often with Doom Winds, so you can just smash Storm Strike on shit. And the reason why it's so OP is that when you crash Lightning, same with this spell, I want to like mention, it could be really good to just keep buffing your Storm Strike damage. Like 6, it would only be good in 6 targets, but so like your Storm Strike's AoE, your Storm Strike's doing more damage to each of the targets. It's splash damage, might be good, not really. Crash Lightning, you know, it's just everything is just what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. I'll update more in the future. The reason why I want to put this guide out there is to say this is what I'm going to be looking at, and I'm probably going to be trying to push 20s in the first week to hit Realm first. I'll be doing it on my Shaman. I do also play Guardian Druid a lot. I play a lot of other classes. So any questions, if I said anything wrong, any suggestions, please leave it down in the comments. Any questions, you know, concerns, comments, ask me literally fucking anything. Yeah, pop out to my stream. Come watch us try to do Mythic 20 dungeons early on. Come watch our guild raid. Some of us are funny. We're pretty stupid. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.